Welcome to tonight's episode of Ginger Bros Dent Show. We're your hosts, Brandon Schmitz and Andy Patrick. Please help us welcome two ex-tag team Olympic partners, Jeremy Nadeau with Dent Wizard and David White with CT Dent Worx. Both of these guys are great friends and friends of ours. So sit back, engage with us, and enjoy the show. What's up? Oh, man, we're like reversed.
I'm
used to being on that side of the
screen. What happened?
Watch this. Hang on. Watch this.
Here we go. I was like, now I'm hurt.
Oh, Lord. Goodness. Dude, welcome everybody to the show. We got a great one tonight. Should be a fun.
I'm excited about it. Yeah.
So I already see we got some Facebook users. So remember, go click the link in the description. Grant StreamYard permission to see your name, and that way you're not made fun of the entire time. So
anyway, I like how one of our guests was the first one to comment, and he commented at like 15:05, like an hour and 15 minutes ago.
Well, what's funny is like I've tried that before, going on our end, and it won't let me post anything.
Right.
But for some reason, I guess through YouTube, it'll let you do it. So it's pretty cool. So, yeah, we got...
He wasn't first. We made damn sure he wasn't first today. Jeremy's like, I got this.
James, you got Jeff on here, McMahon. I want to say
McMahon. Yeah,
I
kind of know him.
I know. Tim Green, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Mr. Nichols?
Josh Dragos.
Yep. I'm getting to it. I'm having to scroll.
So if you listened, we had some background music on the intro there, and at the end, that's actually Nathan Smith, who is a dent tech in Atlanta, and he's got a band called Neil Blade, and you can find all his content on streaming stuff.
He's actually doing a big tour right now too, right?
He's actually opening up for 38 Special tomorrow night here in Mobile at the Sanger Theater, and I can't go. But yeah, I've already told all the guys down there, make sure you introduce yourself to him. Told him the same thing, and it should be a good show. What's up,
Toledo,
guys?
What's up?
Yeah,
we got Christopher Allen here. We got Evan Torres. We got everybody on. I'm loving it. Right off the rip.
Here for the party. We got a lot of Facebook users.
Yeah, so, there's plenty of those. Full house. You're right, Corey.
So, how was your day today?
It was crappy. You already know. We had this conversation. This is a PG show. I can't talk about it. I mean, it was one of them days where just nothing kind of worked out right. I had to go back roads to Nashville and thought I was going to come around some traffic on the way home and hit another wreck. And it's just one of those days. You can't help them. They're going to happen. You keep smiling and roll with it. You call your best friend Brandon. You call your best friend Brandon Schmitz and you just cuss a lot and just get it out of your system, and then you keep rolling.
That's why you just have a retail location, man. You ain't got to get on the road and stuff. So
it's happening.
It's happening. It'll be there.
Yeah, I still have my at least one day a week where I'm mobile because I got my body shops at least, so got to take care of those.
I said that too in the beginning. Now I don't want to leave. So,
well, my
all right. So we
got family.
Yeah. So we got two great guests on, friends of ours. Jeremy Nadeau and Tom Boroff were tag team partners this year. They won third place in the tag team. Did a great job. Didn't dress up. Didn't do the entertainment thing. And David White.
Somebody soured.
Yeah. And so David was Jeremy's tag team partner back in 2020 and decided he just wasn't going to show up for the show this year. So
Jeremy did not place that year.
And he did not place. And so Jeremy went all out and was like, I need somebody I can win with. No,
we found Mr. Boroff, and they did their damage looked great. They did a great job on it too. Like I think it was just minuscule changes between them second and first. You know what I mean? So they killed it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, let's bring these guys on. First, we got Jeremy. What's up, buddy?
What's up, brother?
On, guys?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You got the cozy feel. You got the fireplace going and everything. I love it.
It's Michigan, man. It's cold up here.
What kind of temperatures y'all got right now?
Today wasn't bad. Today it warmed up to like 38, and I had to take my long johns off, and the sun was out, the snow started melting. We got blasted like last week. We got 10, 12 inches of snow, and it's just been cold. I went from Florida for MTE to Grayling, which is like an hour south of the Mackinac Bridge, with my wife the next weekend. That was a culture shock. It was 12 below up there. David White, PBR for life.
He's commenting like he's not even in his chair in the back.
He's having a real hard time with Tom and I competing together. That's for sure.
I bet I know who this comment came from.
Yeah. Sure. That would be Boroff. Wicked good PDI. Boston.
Well, let's bring David in here and
let's do it. I can't wait for this.
He ain't even there. Look at him.
Where's he at?
He's a ghost, kind of like he was at MTE this year. Just ghosted everybody.
he's been having a real hard time being happy for Tom and I hope he shows up.
He had Davo fooled thinking he was at MTE. He's like, Davo's like, I didn't even see you, and I was like, he wasn't there, dude. Like, he's messing with you.
I'll text him and see if he's coming. I don't know.
Oh my God, we found
there he is.
There he is.
God,
hey, Dave.
That will never get old. I remember that intro like it was yesterday.
How'd you feel about this, David? How'd you feel about the? Oh, he ain't even listening. Look at that. Can you hear us?
What's up?
Hey, Dave. Looking good, man. Looking good.
So we're kind of like Jerry Springer here or Dr. Phil. We're trying to bring y'all back together and
dude, Rednecks next year, man. We're coming back.
Why would he do that? He plays without you.
Dave, am I gonna have to pay for another ski trip for you and your family next year on the weekend of MTE? Oh, your wife didn't tell you?
I love the hair.
Oh man.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
No.
I didn't pay to send your family to skiing on the weekend of MTE.
So you can play.
I would never do that so I could get a different partner. I wouldn't do that.
Dude. Bro.
Well, apparently it was worth it.
I was
paid off.
We were joking.
We're not back next year? We're not redneck tag team next year?
You can't hear him?
No, I think I got to go with Tom again next year, man. It's nothing personal. What we had was great.
Dude, that was gay.
It's not you, it's me.
You lost your mind.
I will say that. No more PBR? We're not.
My new guy Tom prefers Fireball. Sorry, Dave.
I don't know.
His wife's gonna be ticked off now. She's got to clean up after
that beer.
Oh, he's
not even good beer.
Who are you kidding? She isn't clean. I hope he comes back.
He might be done.
He might be done. I guess you guys can interview him.
We may just have to kick him off the show and just interview you. So
I will say though, in 2020, when you guys that intro, the red carpet and everything was freaking amazing. If there would have been an entertainment award, I think you guys would have won that. 2 years ago.
It would have been close between Tad and Jeff, Macho Man and Hogan. Us. I think they had better costumes, but I think we kind of, having the strength in numbers, we kind of enlisted the Dent Wizard Army, and we had security walking us in. We had a red carpet rolled out for us. Like we had a whole production, which was really fun. Hats off to you guys that can go in there dressed up like that and still. Hey, Dave, come on, dude, sit down. It's okay. You can hold umbrellas for Tom and I next year.
He's got to put his earbuds in,
dude. Y'all pissed off redneck something fierce. What you do to him?
He can come in and wipe sweat from Jeremy's brow next year while he's competing.
Might be throwing beer cans at him.
Use his hair to wipe it off. Yep.
Somebody did wipe Brandon's sweat off his brow in our tag team. He was,
dude, I was glistening. I was glistening so bad.
It looked like a lemon exploded on that truck.
It did. It did. But
Bryce
it'd be really
Kelly's
hard to do it. It'd be really hard to go do a good job on the dents while you're so focused on your entrance and your costumes. Like it almost feel whoever wins the entertainment and then trophies the dents, you're a couple bad dudes. Like, because I've done it both ways, and our entrance was such a distraction that by the time we got to the dents, it's like, okay, I guess we got to fix these cars. Where Tom and I went with more of a Bryce and John approach, where no, we're just going to come in and do as good of a job as we can on the dents. It'd be really hard to do both.
I ain't gonna lie. When I climbed up on that quick bench, I was exhausted. I was like, "Good God!" Like I'm kind of done now. Like,
all he did was
you can tell in my performance. No, we skipped in. That was hard work.
Yeah, even when Dave and I did it, we had our flannels on and our wigs and our hats and everything. I don't know what he did, but once we started fixing the dents, I took all that crap off. I don't want to. Ted and Jeff are fixing dents with wigs on and tassels hanging in their face, and I'm out on that. Like when we did the dents, we were in jeans and t-shirts, you know.
Yeah. Is David froze up? Are you alive?
Just listening, man. I'm just listening.
You were very still.
I'm +1. I'm +1 right now.
So yeah, like I wanted to go in, and I'm like I wanted the entertainment part, but I was focused on that dent, and Andy's up there just like, hey, you need more time, you go ahead and take more time.
Like, yeah, I was like, you have all the time. I don't care if you have the whole hour to fix both. I'm good.
Hey, Andy, I think you're my tag team partner. The guy I've been looking for.
Maybe if Brandon wants to win, maybe he'll find somebody. We'll be the leftovers.
Oh Lord!
One of the two of you would have to fix it down, though.
No, ain't happening.
We could go in there and stand in there for an hour and not make one push. I guarantee you.
Yes. Kevin Bird would love you.
Be like, what are y'all need to go grab some tools? No, we're good.
No. We got a tool full of coolers full of drinks and beers and
Red Bulls.
We got midget hookers coming in shortly. Just hold on a minute.
Oh Lord. That PBR's kicking in.
Yeah, it is.
Oh God.
We moved on to the good stuff.
That stuff's rough. It's too good. That's the problem with it.
But that is definitely a problem. It does go down smooth. And if you drink too much, tomorrow sucks.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's happened a couple times.
If you didn't notice, that PBR went that way.
Yeah.
My wife paid to have the house clean yesterday.
And
let me
some
know that
redneck spills beer all over the floor.
Yep. So Jeremy, what was your idea when you guys went in there to fix those dents? Like, you had a game plan? What was your game plan?
No strategy talk here.
The plan was
I was their coach.
Yeah, he was our coach. The plan was for him to primarily do the rail and me to primarily do the bedside. And we decided to start on the rail because I kind of had an idea how long the bedside would take. And I said, you can't hustle through that rail. It's going to be what it's going to be. You got to wait for glue to dry and you can't really control it. I said, if I need to get crazy aggressive and make up time on the bedside, I can do that. So we wanted to see how the rail progressed before we started on the bedside. And it was just a lot of back and forth. I'd work on it for a while till I got sick of working. Then I'd throw it back to him. And we realized same realization Dave and I had was I don't use a blending hammer as much as I probably should. I'm running dealer route stuff. So Tom did some of the blending with the blending hammer on the bedside, and I did all the pushing and, the tight knockdown work, and he kind of focused on the rail. And we didn't talk as much strategy as you would think. We've talked more strategy since, than what
Getting
we
ready
did
for next
prior
year.
to, because we've realized places that I think we could save some time and be a little more efficient.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
going back and forth with Toledo on the side over here when I could just
I see that.
Well, I'm letting in. I'm trying not to cut in at the same time. You know, in Toledo, he wrote pressure, fun or no fun, pressure. And I just kind of want to, if we're talking about the tag team, Dent, Jeremy and I last year, zero pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were in it for the fun. It was the first year. We didn't know what to expect. And quite honestly, we were being told on the backside, hey, we're looking for some entertainment value. Like, we want this to be fun. They wanted us to, you know, kind of have some badgering with the other teams. And
I wonder who told you that.
I don't know.
Probably rhymes with Schmev and Schmerg.
Schmev and Schmerg.
I think it's one of your friends from Sesame Street, Big Bird.
That's hilarious.
So when you take what we did a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever it was now, and did the redneck entrance, it was all fun, no pressure. Our expectation was not to win. It was, we're going to have a good time. We're going to blow the roof off this place, and we're going to fix a dent to the best that we can while we can, you know. But it was, we did not take it as seriously as I think post that. We would have been like, man, we could have done this better, that better, this better, which is what takes you to this year. These guys went in there all serious, all focused, and it hurt. And
right,
just to put all the bullshit BS from the beginning, I'm super pumped for them because they're two of my best friends. Like, I love these guys. So
I like how you censor bullshit, but not midget hookers. Like, come on now.
Nobody. He said bullshit,
swear.
and then he goes and says BS. It's like,
you're not very good at this censoring thing.
No, you're right, though. And it was a lot more pressure going in this year for sure, because Tom Boroff's a bad dude, and we knew we were going in and focusing on the dents, and we wanted to do well. And seeing the posts that Tom makes and knowing his caliber, I was going into it going, I hope I'm not humbled and humiliated working next to this guy, because he's a stud. I told him when we got done with our dents, we kind of stood up and looked at him, and I'm like, dude, he goes, we just crushed it, bro. I'm like, yeah, like, they look good. And we walked out of there. I told him, I said, I don't care if we get a trophy or not. The fact that I felt like I worked next to Tom for an hour and wasn't holding him back was all I needed. Tom's,
Tom's nasty.
Yeah.
It was a different kind of pressure because it felt more like when I did the regular DO, because we were there to fix the dents and do them really, really well.
Yeah.
Where, like Dave said, we were just there to screw off, have fun, and not embarrass ourselves.
Right.
Well,
that's kind of what I went into ours, the tag team with, just having a good time. And then I look over and Brandon's like hustling, and I'm like, oh, he's serious. Like, I was not prepared to be serious right now. Like, I'm good with just being Bert and Ernie and chilling.
I kept yelling out, "Time! What's the time?" Instead of hitting my phone, he'd walk all the way to the front of the vehicle and look on the little timer. I'm like, my phone's right here.
You guys were worried about time. When I was in there, I was worried about where's my pizza. The pizza guy was late.
Yeah, we had Carl Leckebush at the time. He was a regional vice president with Dent Wizard. Asked Dave and I before we went in, hey, appreciate you guys representing. And we're like, if you know what's coming, we're about to represent, all right. And he goes, is there anything I can do for you? And
Absolutely.
Dave goes, yeah, you want to go get us pizza? He goes, where am I going to get you pizza from? Dave goes, you're a smart guy, Carl. You'll figure it out. And he did. He walked in the middle of our competition with pizza.
That's so awesome.
No lie. That guy knew his job. Like, he got it. He understood his job.
He understood the assignment.
He understood the assignment. That's right. Because when he showed up with the pizza, he didn't just like show up and be like, hey, here's your pizza.
Oh, no.
He came through the crowd with it up in the air going, I got pizza for rednecks. Looking for the rednecks. I got pizza. When we were in the ring, I could hear him. And I'm going, I looked around, I saw it, and I could see the pizza up in the air. And I'm going, oh, my God. He's nailed it.
Yeah, he made an entrance.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I agree with what Mike's saying. nobody pay attention to the dents. Contests don't mean you're good or bad tech. Like that time limit's that's a monster. Like that's what makes
that's
so
what
bad.
gets you. Yeah, the
Yeah,
time
it's
is what like me working on that dent back there. I could care less that people were watching. To me, it was the time thing, and I'm like, and I didn't have my tools. I spent all that morning like focused on, trying to find tools to borrow that I thought I could use, and it really wasn't what I wanted to use. But here's what it is. Had fun. Next
Toby
year, I'll
says,
bring
"Hey,
my own
Amanda,
tools.
which one, Toby?"
Oh, Toby.
We got 3 of them.
Yeah, we got 3 Amandas.
Yeah, 3 out of the 4 of us are married to an Amanda, Toby. You're going to have to be more specific.
Dave's the odd man out.
I got me a Polish girl off of mail order.
We know which one it is now.
There she is.
There it is.
Oh man, she got her name in there even.
Yeah, she
Doesn't
figured it out.
Facebook user. Dang.
Danny Hacker said he's in next time. Hats off to all of us for
Listen,
competing. It's fun. I enjoyed it.
If you're thinking about doing a tag team competition, do it. And you can go one of either direction. Like
that's it.
You can do the Jeremy and Tom, which is fucking boring, but or you can do the Jeremy and Dave where we made the entrance from hell and just had a blast with it and laughed and giggled and had a good time and threw beers around and ate pizza and
yeah. What's going to be fun about next year's is Kevin's got a great idea and really bouncing it off everybody. But if it works out, we'll probably do all the tag teams who want to do the entertainment part on the first day. That way,
everybody's still there because a lot of people left early and stuff.
And then those who are just there to compete just for it on that second day. That way, you have the same crowd there, the biggest part of the crowd, and the voting can be done by the crowd instead of by a panel.
Suggestion for Kevin Bird: bleachers.
That'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
Win.
Definitely needed bleachers for the crowd Tom and I had. It didn't have anything to do with the team competing right next to us. Nothing. The crowd was not there for Bryce and John. I can assure you they were there for Tom and I.
Going back to Toledo, that was your pressure if that would get to you.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
If you're working, listen, Bryce, Kelly, John, congratulations. I'm glad I wasn't working next to you, but I would have been throwing beers at you. So,
well, when we went for the I get bad draws. When we go for the entertainment with Dave and I, we get lined up to enter at the same time as Woody Koss.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And then go 2 years later, and Tom and I go in to try to do a good job on the dents, and we get paired up at the same time as Bryce and John.
That's perfect, actually, if you think about it.
You're just going to fake everybody out and act like you're doing it one way and then go the other way with it. Be like, I got you.
Yeah.
I'd rather, it seems to me, though, you'd rather be in there when somebody else is trying to be serious, too.
Take it serious.
Yeah, so.
Well, that was like.
Look, I want to see James Bernard as Uncle Fester. Can I just say that? Like, I want him as Uncle Fester and somebody to be like another Addams family. There you go. Perfect. That would be hilarious. He's got a light bulb in his mouth lit up.
Or just have like a green suit on where all it is the thing. Your hand and just working on the dent.
Somebody rolled me in on a wagon where I'll just put the hand out walking down the red carpet.
James said he'll do it. That's going to be – oh, we done lost.
Heck yeah.
I don't even know how to top last year's is the problem with me now. I'm like, how do we do anything more than that? Like, we got some ideas, and I still don't think that
I'm going to
tell you what.
Call me, I'm full of ideas.
Yeah. We literally left MTE that year and brainstormed about 6 different ways to go with this. What do we do next? I would say we had some really good backups to what we would have done had we competed again. Guess that's over. Hey, if anybody wants to be my new cousin, hit me up because I'm coming back next year.
My new cousin / girlfriend.
+1. Who wants to be my next +1?
Mike,
you've never been on a
Mary's
podcast.
Gonna do it. That'd be awesome.
You've never been on a podcast. Hit me up. You be on my +1. You end up over here.
You guys probably don't. Guys probably don't know the +1 story. Everything last year when Dave, I stay pretty quiet. Dent Wizard people know me.
time.
People
You're
outside of that
+1.
don't really know me. And everybody was like, "Oh, you're doing the tag team? Who's your partner?" Dave's like, "Oh, Jeremy Nadeau." They're like, "Who's that?" So it turned into it's just Dave +1. I'm his no-name partner that nobody knows, and I'm fine with that.
Right.
Yeah.
But now
Flying
I pick
under the
on him
radar.
now that we placed, and I'm like, I guess you're the +1.
You got one.
I got one.
You got TJ on the hook.
TJ Byer, that's a good partner too. I
Yeah,
work
that'd
with
be
TJ
fun.
a lot. He's an
TJ,
animal.
you got the rail.
Yeah.
TJ will fix whatever you want him to fix. That dude's a stud.
Well, he's gonna fix
We've
it
had
all.
almost 30 minutes of a shit show. We got to get to knowing you guys a little bit better too at some point.
Well, hey, well, I mean, let's we'll since David left MTE, we'll get to know Jeremy first a little bit better.
Okay.
And
then
then
we'll
we'll
Jeremy, supposedly.
Yeah. So, all right, Jeremy. So, give us an idea who you are. Oh God, David. So who's Jeremy away from PDR? Like family life. What do you like to do? Of course, I know some of the things you like to do, but just let people get to know you.
Gosh, put the wig back on. I've been married to my wife Amanda since 2005, whatever that is. We're coming up on 17 years. Been together 20 years. We have 3 kids. Sophia, who's 15, Max, who's 12, and Gavin, who's 11. Grew up, always raced motocross. Kind of gave up on that. I ride a little bit with the kids for fun in the woods. We got a little land here, but I love hunting deer. We live on a little land, and about every day in the fall I'm out there. I've kind of given up on golf and riding and all my other hobbies, and kind of laugh like I save all my points with my wife for hunting season. Like, you're not going to find me in the fall. I'm going to be hunting. And when you get mad at me, it's because I do nothing for me the other 9 months out of the year. Yeah. But we stay busy, man. I coach the boys in soccer. Sophie plays volleyball, and they're all going 6 to 9 months a year with their sports. So we stay pretty busy. That's kind of who I am. Kind of like American freedom. Got a couple guns.
I was going to kind of touch on that. You guys, I know 4th of July, you throw up a lot of pictures. You got, don't y'all go to like a campground or something? You got a big campground. You hang out with a bunch of people.
Yeah, we've been camping for years, and we did the pop-up thing and got sick of that. And finally, I guess it was 2 years ago, we bought a 32-foot camper and a new truck and started camping. We got a group of friends that we camp with, once a year for probably 10 years now. And we decided last year we wanted to use it more, and we've got another group of friends that seasonal camps where it's literally 9-minute drive from our house, but we take our camper and leave it there all year. We hook onto it when we want to go on a trip, but we're there about every weekend in the summer with a group of friends, and it's just fun. The campground's 100% seasonal, so you don't have to worry about any weirdos coming in on the weekends. That's awesome. Kids all have friends. We all have friends, and we just go. Yeah, I mean,
it looks like you guys have a blast. Like all the pictures you send in the group text and stuff. I'm like, I'm a little jealous. I ain't gonna lie. Like,
well, yeah, they have these theme weekends at the campground. Halloween or Decades Party, where we roll in with a crew between adults and kids. There's probably 20 of us, 22 of us, and we all dress up as American gladiators. We all dress up as the Simpsons. And when there's any sort of competition, everybody else is like 1 or 2 campsites trying to compete. And we roll in with every character you've ever seen on The Simpsons, rolling 30 people deep. We bring in friends to do it. And we've never lost any sort of competition at that campground. It's a lot of fun.
That is awesome.
Obviously, by my entrance with Dave, I don't mind dressing up and getting crazy. It's fun. I love it.
Oh yeah. You only live once. You might as well live it to its fullest, right? And have fun with it and everything else. Like,
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I know you guys want to do this, but I'm really shy, so like that entrance was hard for me.
Oh
yeah. Yeah.
Bullshit. Hey, you said we couldn't say that.
No, I didn't say that. There's one word I said you couldn't say. Nobody's done it yet. We're good.
Which one?
Is that Derek Kessler's favorite word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so too.
It's his description for everything.
So David, I mean, you skipped MTE to go on some awesome ski trip that, judging by the videos and pictures, you couldn't even see yourself going down the mountain. It was like a blizzard.
Things you'll do for your family.
I know.
Yeah, it's all family.
By the way, I skied for about 6 hours in minus 20-degree weather while everybody was in the hotel, simply because my family was in the hotel.
I noticed that your pictures, it's all you and a bunch of dudes, and I'm like,
just me and one guy,
family
man.
trip. It was just so cold; they wanted no part of it.
Well, you know, when you drive 4.5 hours to go skiing for a weekend, and it snows and there's fresh powder, if you're a skier, you go, I want to ski. Alternatively, there was I forget how many. There was like maybe 6 families. So 6 families, kids, everything running around the hotel, plus all the other families that were there with kids running around the hotel. And listen, I love my wife. I love my kids. I love hanging out with them. I love skiing with my kids more than anything. But they took 2 trips up the hill and like a mutiny on a boat. There was like 13 kids that looked at the parents and said, "We're going to the hotel. We're cold." And they left. Like, just, they weren't even waiting for an answer. They left. And we were staying at a ski in, ski out. So they just gone. And we're like, all right, now what? So I called my buddy, or I texted my buddy who was with his family, and I said, "Hey, kids quit." He goes, "My family's quitting too." I said, "I'll wait for you in the hotel." He goes, "You going back out?" I said, Yeah. It's snowing, and I came here to ski, so yes. So we went back out, and we got about, I don't know, a couple hours into it. And you just hit a certain level of cold where you just like, and Dent guys will understand this if you've worked in the winter someplace. Not Florida, Kevin. Shut up with your 60-degree. Cold. It's cold today in Florida. Yeah. Shut up. I've seen Jeremy with his little mustache with icicles growing off of it. It's cold. That's cold. Yeah. But you hit a certain level where your body just goes, "Okay, I'm okay with this." Well, that's kind of how that was. It was minus 20, and we just got to a certain level where it was like, we can do this, or we can go sit in a hotel with a whole bunch of women and kids. I like cold. Cold is good. We found a bar on the top of the mountain and drank a few beers, had some bowl of chili, and went back out and skied some more. But yeah, unfortunately, my dumbass, take full credit of this, fucked up.
Oh, you can't say that word. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Mute him.
Mute. Oh, sorry, too late. So yeah, she gave me the dates. We were supposed to go last year. COVID canceled it. It's Sunday River up in Maine. And it came back around with an email, and things were it was chaotic. I mean, we booked it kind of early. And she says, "Hey, the main trip came back up. Do you want to go to Sunday River?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do." And she goes, "All right." She goes, "Do you want to go from Thursday to Sunday or Friday to Sunday?" I said, "Oh, Thursday to Sunday if I'm driving up there." She's like, "Okay, so I'm going to book it." She sends me the link, or I should say the text message saying the dates. And she says, "Does this look good?" "Oh, yeah, it looks great. Just do it. Book it." Everybody's the next day is like, "Yeah, I booked my hotel. I booked my flight for MTE. I booked my hotel." I'm like, "I got to book my stuff." So I come home that night. I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna book MTE tonight." And she's like, "Okay." She goes, "When is it again?" "Last weekend of January." She goes, "Are you serious?" She goes, "I booked Sunday River yesterday. It's the last weekend of January." My 12-year-old looks at me. "So we're not going to Maine?" "No, we're going to Maine. I'm not going to MTE." So.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You send them up there, and then you're like, "I'll just meet you up there."
Yeah, you know what? They're 12. My daughters are 12 and 9.
You did the right thing.
12 and 9 once.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
family comes first.
It's every year.
See you next year.
I mean, you had a once in a lifetime chance to meet Bert and Ernie, but I mean, you know.
No, I'm pretty sure they'll show up again.
You've gotta put your family first. So I wasn't gonna go to MTE the year Dave and I did the tag team together, and he called me and asked me to do it, and I had just set up like a really competitive, good indoor soccer team for my boys, and I was the coach, and I'm looking at the schedule and going, I got a game Sunday. Like, I don't know. And the original plan for that, I don't remember how tight it was, but I feel like I was going to fly in Friday after work and leave Sunday or Saturday after our dents. I might have had like a 7 o'clock game Saturday. And I was like, I'm just going to fly in and do this tag team with you and get the heck out of there and make it back. Cause the kids grow fast, man. I can't believe my daughter's 15 years old. She's got her permit and she's driving, and it seems like yesterday she was sitting on my lap and I'm reading books to her. You got to make those memories. It sucks to miss something as fun as MTE, but you got to do it.
You're right. And trust me when I tell you, I was up in Maine, and I hate to say it, not every chance I got, but when I sat down for a few minutes, I was thumbing Facebook looking for updates and photographs and seeing what was going on, because one, I do miss everybody. I do enjoy MTE. Dave Streen likes to say that I float at MTE. Whatever. I enjoy seeing everybody and I enjoy hanging out.
Right.
It's a good time. And when we are in this, in this industry, primarily we are solo. No matter where you are. I mean, even when I worked for Dent Wizard for so many years, you're just by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook was great. Yeah, island is what they used to say. And Facebook was great to kind of give us the connections that we get. But it's still not as personal as walking in and, grabbing a handshake and a bear hug from somebody you haven't seen since last year.
Right.
And the conversations that happen in the bar and just the craziness that, and I say craziness, but not in a bad way. It's crazy. And anybody that ever goes to MTE for the first time, I've always said, I'm like, dude, when you get there, your head's going to be like this.
Oh yeah. It was fun sitting back watching Brandon, like his first MTE and stuff,
dude.
and just,
It's completely overwhelming to me. I walked into Dentcraft's booth to borrow a tool. I walked into A1's booth to buy some glue tabs. Those might be the only two I even step foot in, because it's just, I walk in there and it's overwhelming. I just see a wall of tools and I'm like, where do I even start to look at all this stuff? I don't even know how to process it. So I just hang out and walk laps around the competition arena.
That's me too.
I'm a competitive dude, and I love watching people compete. I love that aspect of it. The whole show could be nothing but those ropes, and I'm happy.
That's what I was on his digest the other night, and Davo was on, and he was like, I got to order all my tools when I get back home because I spent so much time talking to everybody, hanging out. I didn't even order tools. Like, he's like, I'm getting home, putting my orders in. I'm like, seriously? Like, you missed all the discounts.
Dude, that's usually me. I'm usually so busy walking around bullshitting with everybody and having a good time that I just, I stop at a few booths because there's certain people that I generally just want to see, like Marie and John from A1, Christina and Craig from Anson, like, Steve from Ultra, there's just good people, and you go and have
Bonnie,
the conversation.
PDR from this,
right? Yeah, you Bonnie, yeah, absolutely, and you forget that you're there to see the tools to some degree, and then I'll get on the plane, and whoever I'm there with will be like, "Oh, I bought, check out what I got," and I'm like, "Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? What's that from? Holy crap! How did I miss all this?" And you go home and you're like, "I got to order. Hey, can you get that to me now because I screwed up." Kevin Bognanudo is usually my guy because he walks around and sees everything.
He does. Then, I've always watched him. He's like on it.
And we shared a room for so many years that I would come back to the room and all his stuff would be laying on a bed. I'm like, what's that? Where do I get that? Go get that for me. So
yeah, I bought Amanda 2 t-shirts. I bought myself 1 t-shirt, and I bought like a $35 pack of glue tabs. That's all I bought there.
I wasn't supposed to buy anything this year, and I bought a handle from Ultra and a freaking light stand from Pro PDR, and like I'm closing on a shop, and I'm like, I can't buy nothing. Which that was stuff that I needed anyway, but it was necessities more than just. I didn't get them big eyes and like brand new tool. I gotta have it. Like I do a lot of years. Usually it's.
I've got.
Luckily, I won a lot of tools.
Yeah, wonder how that happened. Jab.
Just think if you'd have won some in 2020, you'd have had more tools.
Right.
Well, if they would have had an entertainment award in 2020, we'd have trophies, Dave.
Yeah. I blame Bird for that, but
that is Kevin Bird's fault.
Sorry,
Kevin. I think that's why the Golden Girls won this year because they took into consideration Macho Man
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Well, that's
and then
fair.
Betty White died.
In a Speedo. Jeez.
Yeah, my grandmother. Here's to my grandma.
Betty White.
I've got a picture of Tad 2 years ago.
If she
when
only
he
had a
was
button
down to
tab.
just a Speedo. He looks naked in the bed of that truck. I'll post it in the comments. It's
Oh, yeah, he's
hilarious.
got his shirt. He said his tassels were getting in his face while he was
He
working
took the
upside down.
tassels off. So this picture I have, he's sitting in the bed of the truck, and he looks 100% naked. Because the only thing he has on are these tall boots way up to his knee and a Speedo.
So that explains Woody cost a full suit because he got outdone in a Speedo by somebody else. So the
Yeah,
Speedo
he
was
don't
no
have
more,
a body
right?
like Tad.
I mean,
Man, I was so happy this year. I
Sorry,
thought I was
Woody.
like, I didn't see more Woody than I wanted to see. And then the drunk tool review, he mooned the camera. I was like, God dang it! Like I was this close to making a freedom without seeing more Woody than I wanted to. And then there
You're gonna see Woody.
Oh yeah, he can't stand it. It's like his clothes are itching. I gotta get them off of me. But no, it's a great. You can tell that MTE was a.
Come to think of it, and TJ, don't take this the wrong way, but Woody would be well, we could stir some stuff.
So is this going to be a Dave White Woody tag team next year? Woody just don't know it yet.
I like TJ. I like the idea of TJ, and if TJ's willing to dress up, I mean, I'm in. Fuck, Dent Worx will pay for it.
I like how you think you got choices. Like, ain't nobody said they work with you. You're like acting like everybody wants to work with you. You didn't even play.
I'm David White.
You were on my team.
TJ and Woody can fight over my sloppy seconds. It's fine.
Oh, Lord.
Andy was in there 5 minutes ago. I mean, he was all in it for the fun. I said, I'm in it for the fun. We could team up. He said Brandon could go find a real guy, and then he'd be all set. But,
So we're going to do Brandon and TJ against Dave and Andy.
Oh, it'd be pretty interesting. I can't even leave my ginger bro though. As long as
we can't break us up.
Ginger brothers got to stay together.
That's it.
Yeah.
Bros for life.
Tighter than cousins, but
maybe.
But we're already
can just be your guys' manager to help you with the entertainment aspect of it. He could just assist. He could be like your hype guy or fluffer or whatever,
Fluffer.
No fluffer. You had me at hype, but no fluffer.
Oh god!
Well, tell everybody out there, Jeremy was all nervous about coming on, but dude, you're a natural. Like you're doing great right now.
Yeah, you're awesome. Right though. It is just like a phone call.
Fireball kicking in.
Yeah, right. I'm getting warm, and it ain't the fire.
I'll buy another bottle tomorrow, man.
I looked on the back of that. The back of that tailgate before y'all started, and there were miniature Fireball bottles everywhere. I'm like, And I never even stayed around to watch it, but seeing the pictures.
We did all right. It was funny. I woke up in the morning and Tom's like, "You want to meet for breakfast, dude?" I'm like, "Bro, if I eat a big buffet breakfast, like, I'm going to be on the toilet instead of doing these dents. Like, I'm nervous." So I just went and got a Cliff Bar, and I drink a Bang Energy on the way down there. Then we get down there, and Tom's like, "You ready to do a shot of Fireball?" Like, 10:15 in the morning, why not? So we did one. Then we do our entrance and walk in, to some Pantera. We do another one. Next thing I know, I don't know if it was a Fireball or the Bang or what. When I made my first pass through that bedside, I'm like, Tom, I can see my pulse in my eyeballs. Like, I'm jacked up.
No sound.
Well, you hammer that back, and then you're inverted like that. Yeah, all that blood rushes to your head.
Straight to the head.
Already hitting.
Yeah.
No. He's a seasoned trained.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the caffeine,
right?
But I was fired up.
Do all you guys have the inverted shirts from Brandon's store? Like, that was the first one I had to get. I was like, I got to have them because I was inverted in PDR shirt.
You could tell. You walk around that arena, and no matter what shirt a guy has on or where he works, you can spot a whiz train guy because we're inverted all the time. Like, even on the bedside, I was inverted the whole time.
Right.
I change oil on my kids' dirt bikes, and I'm inverted. You get a flat tire on a car, and I don't crouch next to it. I stand inverted and work. My dad's always like, "Dude, how do you do everything standing all weird like that?" I'm like, "It's where I'm comfortable."
It's natural.
Used to being upside down.
Yeah, I'll try. Sometimes I'll try to do a dent, like looking down at it like everybody else does. I'm like, I just can't do it. It's weird.
Can't do it.
No.
But even when they talk to each other in MTE, they're all standing there like this. Like where are the whiz guys over there? They are.
They're at the bar upside down.
I'd like to ask, at this time, I would like to ask Amanda a few questions.
I can go get her if you want.
No. It won't end well.
That's probably a bad idea.
I love you, brother. I don't want this to go there.
No.
I'm always happy to see all my Dent Wizard crew, like, you know, leaving. I don't talk to everybody. Well, now the text group, but there's other Dent Wizard people that's not in that text group. It's kind of cool to get to see all them again and hang out. Like even the corporate people, I'm like, hey, what's up? I mean, it's awesome.
Well, yeah, you were with Dent Wizard, Andy, when I would say the first time I ever really got involved and met anybody from outside my local market. I've been here almost 20 years. A couple months will be 20 years. And when Kyle and TJ did that deal in Dayton, they had like a miniature education day, and I came down solely because I wanted to see the Dent Olympic Dent in person. I had never been to MTE. I had never seen any of that, and I drove down there, and that's where I met you, and that weekend gave me some confidence because I got to meet people who were big name people in the company, like Kyle, second in the Dent Olympics.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. His head's already big enough.
Yeah, I like Kyle. I'll give him one. But now I'll beat him back down. I stood there and watched him do demos for all a room full of techs, and I went, that dude's no better than me. And
that's like, man, you jumping on that car like
in myself. And 6 months later, I'm signed up to do the Dent Olympics. Like,
right.
I had to go down there and see what it was all about, and that gave me a lot of confidence in myself.
That's what they had a rental car they beat up on, and like nobody was jumping to go work on it. Me and Jeremy hopped on it. That's why we started talking. It's like, oh, y'all are scared. We got this.
And I bought a K-bar 2 days later. Kyle got busy. It was his dealership, and he was doing a demo and kicked this quarter panel, made it way too big. He'd probably tell you fix it in 20 minutes, but he can't. But he took off. He smashes his quarter panel, and of course he gets a phone call and he's busy. He just leaves. So there's a room full of guys like, well, is this dude gonna fix this dent? And Andy and I are like, let's go play with that K-bar. So yeah, that was the first time I met you, and we fixed the smash. Kyle probably was scared and couldn't fix it.
Probably so.
He left it to the pros.
It was pretty cool too, because that day, like, we was at one of Kyle's dealerships, and they had a van out front. They were doing some kind of promo thing, and you could pay so much money to beat the van up. So we're like, we get to put dents in something? Like, absolutely. So we're over there just beating the brakes off this.
If anybody wants to make money, you get a bunch of dent guys together, and you have a sledgehammer and a car, and you say $5 a swing, you can make dents, man. I think we all went home broke. I don't even know how many times I hit that car.
It's like, finally, we get to put them in it for a change.
Right.
It was like what was that? It was some minivan. It was terrible, like a Savannah or something.
We smashed it pretty good, though. At one point, I was standing on the hood, smashing the roof with a sledgehammer.
I got that video.
Yeah.
Still.
I think
David missed out on that
one of the groups.
He did.
Yeah. What? I said you missed out on that, but you've had several when you worked for Denver. You had several meetups up in your area too.
A couple, yeah. More notoriously was the toy drives. I mean, the guys that would, I can't say enough about the guys that are in the Northeast area. There's some stellar guys out here that have just stepped up every time I've done something, and everybody likes to go, "Hey, good job," and I'm like, man, it ain't me, it's all them. I might orchestrate it, but without them, I'm not nothing. So, and I'm happy to say that, I'm hoping when the toy drive returns after this COVID thing ends, because apparently our mandate is now ending for masks in Connecticut. So we're on the right track. But of course, midterm elections are around the corner. So, get reelected.
What's a mask?
Yeah.
I'm in Tennessee. Like, what is that thing?
Yeah, I know.
Y'all wear those?
Floridians. But, I'm hoping that'll return. And I dare say that I think these guys will jump back in, and that's just the band of brothers of PDR. That's not, I don't care what name's on your shirt.
Right.
So there's just, I saw from Michigan show up, and that was cool. But
that was fun. We'll have to talk about that.
That dude, my wife, real quick, my wife and these guys, the Nadeaus, these guys, pranked my ass. My wife says, we're going to Boston for a work function, work dinner for her. I'm like, great, just what I want. Well, I'm as like pissed off as can be about doing this, and it's on a Friday. We have a habit of talking on Fridays. Me and Jeremy.
Best friend Friday.
I was before he finished third. So
I talked to Tom on Fridays.
Now he talks to Tom on Fridays, and I'm just hangover Monday. So we go to Boston and we're sitting in this hotel, which is supposed to be where we're meeting people. And he calls me up and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm sitting at some swanky ass hotel in Boston." And he goes, "Weird." I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm standing in some swanky ass hotel in Boston." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And before I could like even process it, I happen to glance up and he's standing in front of me. I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, we're here for the toy drive." And I'm like, "This sucks. You're here, and I got to go to some stupid dinner with her."
You still didn't click?
Oh, dude, it still wasn't clicking. My wife's like, "There's no dinner." And I'm like, "What do you mean there's no dinner?" She goes, "There's no dinner. Like, we're here to hang out with them, and then we're going to go surprise Boroffs later," which loser won't get on. So we hung out in Boston all day, and it was awesome. And then we went and sat at the next best part was we went to the restaurant. We sit down in this far corner. We have Tom's wife, Lindsay, texting us. We're on our way. We're 5 minutes away. We're in the parking lot. We're like, all right. So we all chill out. Holmes over here gets up, grabs a stack of menus, and pretends to be the host.
Oh, my God.
Literally greets them and walks them to our table. Tom looks at us at first like, dude, there's people in our seat. Like, we can't sit here. And then he looks again and he realizes it's me. And I'm laughing. Jeremy's standing behind him laughing. He turns around, looks at him, and goes, "Oh my God."
That's awesome.
I walked up to their little lobby and I'm like, I don't want to look him in the face. So I'm like looking at the floor. I'm like, "Lindsay, party at 2?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Follow me." And I just turn around. I'm like running back to the table where Dave, his wife, and my wife are sitting there. And Tom's like,
"That's so awesome.
Why is this host wearing jeans, in cowboy boots feeding me with strangers?"
Yeah.
It took him a while to realize it was me. But we had fun. We went and hung out, and then we did the toy drive with them and hung out at Dave's house and drank too much and tried to bench too much. It was fun.
Dude, 3 drunk guys at like midnight, 1 a.m. All right, put 225 on the bench. Let's see who can do the most. No warm up, no nothing. Chip faced. Yeah, no problem.
No problem. I had problems.
He had problems.
I had problems.
Dave, how long have you been doing your toy drive? You know, it's close to home with us having our toy drives. Like, we love to hear about everybody else's too.
3. So I had 3. I had the first one, which was just in the middle of a snowstorm, so it didn't fare very well. And even then, I had some really awesome guys that drove up from New York and down from Massachusetts. And then after that, I hooked up with a BMW dealership that promoted the heck out of it, and we were able to do 2 really good ones out of there. And again, awesome. Guys driving from all over the place, which was awesome.
Yeah, the year I went, you probably had 15 dent guys standing in the lane.
Oh, wow.
It was somebody would pull in with a dent, and you know how it is. They
got attacked, man.
Yeah, they would go, "Well, I got this dent in my fender." Well, Dave's working on the fender, and I'm going, "Well, you got one in the left rear door too. I might as well fix it. I want something to do. I jump on it." Then Boroff's like, "Well, I see one in the hood," and he's
Boroff got hammered with some
for a
6 Series or 7 Series convertible. I don't know. This thing was like the aluminum epitome of BMW and no access. Right at the front of the hood. It was a tow strap or some strap that fell off a tow truck and smacked this hood. This guy had no idea we were even there, just pulled into the dealership and was like, "Yeah, I got this dent in my hood and I don't know what to do." Like, he was basically looking for a body shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They walked him outside and go, "Hey, this guy's got a dent in his hood. You want to fix it?" We're like, Boroff like, "Yeah." Runs over there, looks at it. 2 hours later, he's still working on it. $40 donation. I'm like, "Tom, give it up. Let's go."
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we got the world champ. We have Billy Martin that shows up.
Billy.
Good old Billy.
How did I forget about Billy? He's so quiet. Like, he's not on really, you don't see him on social media or anything like that. So he just kind of slips through the cracks.
Hi. Oh, thanks, guys.
I think he's still got it.
He's so sweet.
So nice to be here. I'm glad I could help out. You guys are the best. Thanks for having me.
And he will never see
you
this.
haven't lived until you're doing Hale in Cincinnati, Ohio, and you're sitting in a room with Dave White and Roy Enos and Billy Martin and Billy Martin's son, and you're playing Cards Against Humanity.
Oh God!
And you're watching Billy's son have to explain to Billy what all these
some of these answers are. Yeah.
How old was his son? Oh, you saying his son had to explain to Billy?
Billy's son is going, I won't even say the words that he had to explain to his dad. His dad's like, Billy's like, what does that mean? His kid, he knew everything. He knew stuff I didn't know.
Dude, the best part is when the winning answer would come up and it would be so hilarious and so outrageous. And you're just like, who's this that? And Billy's over in the corner going, that's mine. And you look over at his kid and you're going, "That's your dad." He's like, "No, how do you know this, Dad? No."
That's okay. I bought a card game the other day called New Phone Who Dis. Didn't pay attention that it was an adult game, and we had ice or whatever. I was like, we got some family games. Bryson, I gave him one to read, and Amanda's like, it wasn't.
Play it again. Let's record it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Hold on, what'd you say again? It was something about whack a hobo. It was a hell of a ride, and
yeah, there's certain phrases I learned in that hotel room in Cincinnati that every time I hear them again, I'm like, I know what that means, but only because of Billy Martin's son. I don't even know his son's name, but he knows.
No, it wasn't even Brandon, but it wasn't Brandon. It was
Oh, it was the other dude to the left of him. I don't remember his name. I'm bad with names.
Oh God, if he's watching this, he's gonna kill me. But yeah, it was somebody that Billy worked with at the auction and now is chasing Hale. And he did a full-on explanation of something sexual that we're all like, and how do you know this? He goes, oh, my roommate used. No, dude, no. We're not playing that game. My roommate.
Yeah. Well, and it was such freak chance that all that even happened. So it was during COVID when the country shut down and all of our dealerships were closed and Cincinnati got blasted with hail.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call that was like, hey, we got a Hale gig in Cincinnati at Mike Albert. And Dent Wizard basically said, hey, we want to bring in some of our longer tenured dealer guys and give them a chance to try the Hale world. And I loved it because you always think hey, what would work in a Hale site look like? But you're so busy with your route or whatever you're into, you don't get to do it. So I'm like, well, who am I going to be working with? They're like, well, TJ Byer, Kaya Violet. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. So I shoot down there. Well, then a few days later, Dave's like, hey, I got the call. I'm going. And I'm like, I'm going to see my buddy from Connecticut. And we're going to fix Hale.
How
but it was you almost felt bad going to a hotel to party and play Cards Against Humanity because it was, we're talking April, May of 2020. The world was very scary.
My wife says, I got the phone call to go, and I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go, but give me an hour. Let me call you back. Let me just check the homestead, right? And I'm pretty much sitting around. Dent Wizard had me on the guarantee, and I'm not doing nothing because the dealers aren't open. Nobody's buying cars at this point, and it's just dead. So I'm like, what can I do? And so they're like, hey, you want to go to Ohio and do Hale? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And I told the wife, and she's like, well, how are you going to get there?
He only went because I was there.
Yeah, absolutely. I said, I'm going to drive. And she says, where are you going to stay? I said, in a hotel. She was like, oh my God, you're going to stay in a hotel? It's COVID. You're going to die. It's going to be the zombie apocalypse and you're going to die there.
I got Lysol. It's all right.
I'm like, it's going to be fine. She goes, well, just don't hang out with everybody. You're going to see people at work. And I'm like, yeah, we get put in a Chevy dealership that has 2 shifts. They're selling cars at midnight because they have a second shift. They have a second shift service department. I'm like, what do you guys sell on average per month? And the lot guy's like, we're about 800 cars a month. Are you kidding me? Dang. This place was a never-ending just flow of cars. So then there's a night, she calls me up, she goes, what are you doing? I said, nothing. All these guys, and I mean all these guys, were in my room playing Cards Against Humanity. And she can hear everybody. Yeah. Like you're trying to hide a girlfriend, right? And she's like, who's there? And I'm like, Jeremy and Billy and Brandon and Roy and Chris,
Some
she's
other
like-
guy, I don't know his
she's like,
name.
how big is your room? And I'm like, oh, we're spaced apart. We got at least 2.5 feet between us.
That's hilarious.
What are you doing? We're playing Cards Against Humanity and drinking a lot.
A lot.
Yeah, I sat on the couch for 2 weeks. You know, all the dealers were closed, and Nick Pennybacker, my RVP, called me, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go do hail in Cincinnati?" So I same deal. I talked to my wife, and I go, "Hey, I got called to go do hail in Cincinnati." She's like, "Who's there?" Like, what? You know, we didn't know anything about COVID at this point. She's like, how many guys are you going to be working with? I'm like, it sounds like it's a shop with 10 guys from 8 different states. She goes,
It's a shit show.
she goes, you're going to get COVID. I go, yeah, probably.
But I'm
And
gonna
she
get
goes,
paid.
she goes, how much money are they making? I go, like $1,500 a day commission. She's like, oh, you're going.
Yeah, COVID was not an it was backdoor right after that.
I'll tell you, we went there and nobody got sick. Nobody got anything. And it was fun. I mean, we had 4 route. I worked in a different facility than Dave, but we were in the same town. And I worked with 4 route guys and 4 hail team guys. And we all got along great and had fun and
That's awesome.
made a bunch of money. And it was a blessing. I mean, by the time we were done with the 5 weeks, we went and bought Amanda a new car.
Nice.
Yeah.
We were 2 nights out, I think, from leaving. We're pretty much wrapping up. They're telling us we're done. We had a few cars left, whatever. And we're sitting in the room and we're discussing like the drive home, right? So drive home was 12 hours for me from Ohio to get back to Connecticut. And
3 for
Roy
me.
Enos was down there, Billy Martin, Brandon, and God, for the life of me, I can't remember that dude's name.
That other guy.
Sorry. At any rate, we all
We'll
come
call him
back.
Joe.
We have to come back to the East Coast. It starts with a J. I know that.
Yep. Clearly, Joe.
So we're sitting there and we get the phone call from corporate and they're like, hey, South Dakota just got hit with hail and it's like pea-sized, but there's a ton of them. And you guys want to go? Hold on a minute. We'll call you right back. So I hang up the phone. I'm like, there's hail in South Dakota. You guys want to go? Like, at this point, we're all just like the band of brothers. Like, let's go cause more
We
chaos.
made our own
somewhere
dealer
else.
route guy hail team.
So I remember Roy looking it up and he goes, well, it's 26 hours from here to there. I'm like,
Killer Roy impression, by the way.
I'm like, what I'm more curious about, Roy, is how far is it from there to go home? Because, you know, at the end of that stuff, if you've never chased hail, and I'm not saying I'm some big hail chaser by any means, but I have driven some distance. And when you get done doing hail, you are gassed.
You're ready to get home.
And again, I'm a dealer guy. So after 5 weeks of hail, yeah, I was gassed. All right, whatever. I don't care. So
Boroff wouldn't be gassed.
he wouldn't have shown up anyway. You don't see him here tonight, do you? You don't see him here tonight, do you? I'm here, right? That's right. Sorry, Tom. So I said, how far is it home from there? And he looks it up and he goes, 36 hours. I'm like, I'm out. I'm not doing that, bro.
That's a long haul back
I'm
home.
not
Tired
doing
as
36 hours in a Ford Transit by myself. It's a 13-gallon gas tank. I got to stop every 2.5 hours to fill that lawnmower up.
Wind it up.
South Dakota wouldn't have been bad though. I tell you what, I think they felt pretty normal through.
We lost him.
We lost him.
And
Well, we got a South Dakotian on here. Maybe he can tell us.
I heard that job went for like 4 or 5 months. So I mean, it would have been a good gig. It would have been a lot of money. But my understanding was they were like dimes, but like 600
thousands.
Yeah. It was like look at the roof and go find a flat spot to start with.
Yeah, it was such a crazy
yeah.
time though. I remember walking into where I did the hail with Kyle and TJ, and I remember walking up, and I know Kyle and TJ. We had done a lot of stuff together, and I was like, the world was so weird. I'm like, hey guys, like I don't know if we shake hands or what we do. Like that's when they were like, don't touch your face, and COVID was super weird. Yeah, it was a weird time. You pull into a big hotel and the only cars there are yours, one other dent guy, and the guy working the front desk.
Wow.
Yeah. I remember checking
and you're going, I don't know.
You talking about that handshake thing? Like you do that.
I checked into my hotel, and they literally would not open the front doors. She slid the paperwork between the door and the frame, and there was a pen outside in a box that you would sign and slide back in, and then slide your credit card in, and she'd run the credit card and slide it back out. You're like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. Yeah, it really. I would say that the real beginning of COVID was. I mean, if you were to imagine a zombie apocalypse, that was pretty much it, because I was doing 95 miles an hour down whatever the hell it is, 80 something or 70, whatever it goes across the country from Connecticut.
80,
90?
Yeah, 80, 90.
Yeah, well, I was just cruise control, set, 1 foot up on the dash, leaned way back, and just like there was nobody. I thought, oh my God, if I break down on the side of the road, there's nobody that's ever going to come get me. Nobody's going to see me. I didn't pass cars.
Did you see when I did it? The Ohio Highway Patrol would have cars staged in the medians on the expressway with no officer in them. Yep. And they're like, I felt like they're just trying to keep me to not go 110 and only go 90. There's nobody in those cars. They're scared to pull me over because they think I'm infected. It was so weird.
Rick Hummert was talking about that at MTE. He was talking about driving somewhere with a trailer and stuff. He was like, I didn't see nobody, like no problems, just rolling.
Nope.
Like, that's insane.
And dude, at one point I was doing 95, and a dude, I again, nobody in front of me. And if you've ever done the cross country on that highway, it's straight and flat. So, John Yeager, cops told me they wouldn't pull someone over even if they were. Yeah, I heard that as well. And when I was driving on that,
John Yeager,
they proved that. And I'm doing 95 miles an hour. Again, nobody. And all of a sudden I was like, whoa. I'm like, where do you come from? That guy went by me like doing 100 and a half. And I'm like, I'm going to bring it up a notch.
When you're trailing.
No, I wasn't. Dude went by me like I was going the other direction.
Well, and I did it a bunch back and forth because my wife's a nurse. So she had to work through it. So 3 nights a week she would work. So I would, I don't remember the numbers, but in 5 weeks of doing hail, I'm wanting to say I made that Southeast Michigan to Cincinnati drive 8 or 9 times. Like I would go work 4 days, and then I'd do the 3-hour drive home and watch the kids and hang out. And then when she would get a couple days off, I'd shoot back down there. Hats off to Dent Wizard. I mean, I could have sat at home making unemployment, and instead they let me be really flexible, and I made a bunch of money. It was good, but I did a lot of driving.
Kevin Bird pull you over, look like the Super Troopers littering and the dark complected dude. Crispy Kevin littering and.
You know what I pulled you over?
Snozberries really taste like snozberries.
And the DBA Tundra.
Just you know why I pulled you over, son? Because I was speeding. You weren't going fast enough. Don't be a pussy.
On that note, look at the time.
We hookers are here.
We are about an hour past our hour mark.
Yeah, past our hour now. I got a dog that won't leave me alone right now. He's like, I'm ready to go out.
You guys are cutting us off, man. I thought we were going to go till at least midnight.
I'm not. He is. He's like,
look at him.
I'm ready to go.
He's ready to go pee. That's a dog that wants to pee.
Keep him going.
You guys have been great. It flew by. Like I always tell everybody, I'd love to be on here like 3 hours chatting because it's so easy to do. But we try to not bore our listeners.
They ain't bored. Look at them; they're entertained.
How many you got?
James, James came in at the right time with it to the funniest show yet. Yeah, because David can't keep his potty mouth stopping.
Yeah, you're gonna have to insert some beeps every time Dave talks.
This is live, dude. This is raw carnage. There's no beeps.
You make me look good.
Everybody's loving it. So
this will be, we just. I don't want to brag or nothing, but we just put you on the map.
Yeah, that's what happened.
It's in the chat. You know the deal.
I'll make you famous.
Me and my +1.
+2. plus 3.
Oh yeah, maybe they're plus 2 and 3.
Look, John said he put earmuffs on the kids. Yeah, I wonder
Smart
why.
move, man.
Smart move,
Earmuffs.
John.
If you ever watch, going back to our entrance for the Redneck, right? We walk in and I'm literally slamming a beer and I happen to glance down and there's a woman standing there with like some 5-year-old kid who's just staring at me. And I'm like,
be like me.
that's it. That's what I walked up to him. I literally stopped and I lean over to him and the woman is literally pulling the kid back like I'm going to run off with him. And I lean over and I go, don't be like me, kid. And I just keep on walking and chugging beer.
God bless. James said he loved meeting you at Matt's meetup. I love James Bernard. He's so awesome.
Uncle Fester's the best, man.
He is.
He was a good time. I was a pleasure meeting you as well. I mean, it was again, that's why you go to this stuff, because you get to meet new people and find cool new friends. So
yeah, I can't wait to host a meetup. When I get my shop up and running, I want to do a meetup down here and have
We
anybody
need
wants
to
to
do
come down.
Ginger Bros meetup at Andy Patrick's place.
Let's do it. It's going. I want to be a little prettier than what it is now.
I don't know
Though.
if
I'll probably
Amanda's
be
still
skiing.
listening. She's probably bored by now, but she's always wanted to go to Nashville.
Oh, there
So,
you go.
Let me know. Maybe I'll get her.
What you need to do like a Halloween one, because everybody come dressed up.
Oh, we wear costumes and stuff.
Oh, damn.
Dave, we're done.
Tom's not coming. So what are you gonna do?
Okay, I'll do it. Rednecks for life.
Oh no.
Full life.
Deuces, dude.
Oh Lord. Hey guys, I
it's
appreciate y'all
it'll be a
coming
minute.
on.
Call your +1, buddy.
Yeah, this was a blast. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for
Halloween
having
meetup.
us.
Yes, Jack is in on
Yeah,
that one.
Appreciate you coming on there, Jeremy, because
Oh, guys, man,
since your current partner would not come on, you know,
He's all business. He's
yeah. Well,
Tom
you
just
gotta
wants to
loosen it up
fix Dents and
sometime.
be a savage. He doesn't want any part of this, and that's okay because he's good at what he's good at.
Dang, Nick, you real like we overtime and you say you get time.
That's why I sent them in at D8.
Peace out, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
Get your
Hi,
guys.
Nick. Thanks for showing up. We started an hour and 10 minutes ago.
That's usually like John Vadino come in like with 2 minutes ago and like, hello, dare. Usually every time. I'm surprised we ain't got a comment from him yet. Yeah.
My daughter says I can
Almost
rewatch
like they
this
have
later. I
lives or
said, no.
something.
No, you can't.
No. Daddy's got potty mouth.
All right, guys. Well, we're going.
He's
we're
gotta
gonna
let
shut
his dog
this
in.
down. I got. Yeah, he's like nipping
He's
my.
closing the
leg.
bar on us.
That dog's
He is.
crossing his legs, dude. You gotta get him out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
He's like
Send
he's
him.
looking at me all cross-eyed and everything. I gotta go.
My back paws are floating.
All right, guys. You're trying
Thank
to
you,
hit
guys,
this thing.
yeah.
I get the hint. Thanks for being my friend.
Thank you for being
Yeah, I'd
a
like to thank you
friend.
too for being my friend. And
Well, I'm gonna.
Thanks for being my friend and teammate, Tom.
This was everything I expected it to be, just so everybody knows. It's
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
Definitely.
Damn
It was
you.
a great time. Yeah, appreciate you guys coming on. Appreciate everybody that was engaging and texting and commenting and all that kind of stuff. We had like 28 people watching at one point.
Is that
Yeah.
a record?
That's
Yeah,
close
in
to
the
yeah,
beginning.
that's a record. Yeah.
I should hope
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
It was in the beginning. They had high hopes, and then they rolled out.
Toledo left. Toledo left after I started
Lord.
cursing.
This guy's stuck. I'm out of here.
Toledo was like, "Oh, Dave's starting to say the F-bomb. I got to go."
Yeah, I'm out.
No,
Mary's
we're
like,
good.
"But Dave's such
Yeah.
a nice boy. I can't believe he said that."
God.
By the way, I love Mary and Mike.
They're awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna hit the outro, guys, but y'all stay on. We'll meet up in the back room real quick. In the back room.
Oh God, I knew that was coming. You knew better than to say that.
All
Bye,
right,
everybody.
peace out. See you.
Love y'all.
See ya.
Deuces. Till next MTE.